Hi, I'm Jeremy, and I lecture quite often in this lecture space, and many of you may have been people who've been kind enough to sit in these lectures. But today, I want to show you something far more interesting. Come with me, let me show you what lies behind this piece of furniture. Some call it the podium, some call it the lectern. This is where you give your lectures from. Look at it now. Look out there. My gosh, you have everything you might need. Microphones, control devices, and above all, this big bit of furniture, which is concealing much of you from the audience, so it's a great barrier and you feel really safe. However, we don't spend all our time standing up here. Some of the time we need to go to see what lies beneath. Come down here. Come and see what we have down here in these doors. We have the various devices that enable us to replay content. Well, that's obvious, isn't it? But at times, you see, those functions don't work the way you might think. And so, in a heat of the moment, you have to come down here and you have to activate things manually. And it may well be, because your sight may not be so good, that you've got to take your glasses off and you've got to peer around and try and find the particular function that you're looking for. And that can get really tiring. But that's some of the things you do. However, that's not the main thing you do. The main thing you do is you come down here because it's a quiet area for reflection. When you're down here, those people, your audience, cannot see you. You are invisible. And you can spend really a lot of time in your mind down here just reflecting. You could, for instance, not only think, you could eat a jam sandwich, you could have, oh no, not a cup of coffee because it's the lecture theatre, but you can see this as a whole area of meditation. And what this enables you to do is to reboot your critical energies so that when you decide you're going to rise up, as I'm going to now, you come up refreshed, looking out, knowing that you've been in the space they haven't, knowing you've been in somewhere exclusive, which they can't inhabit. And it's curious they can't inhabit it because, of course, they can. Anyone in this lecture theatre can come down and stand here. Anyone in this lecture theatre can give a talk or a lecture. Nothing mysterious about it at all. But so many people don't want to. So they're diffident, they're inhibited. So they don't come down here, so they don't know what goes on here. So it's possible for anyone who is giving a talk to feel that sense of exclusivity and a kind of crazy sense of power. But beware, don't let the power go to your head, because if you think that all of these devices work all the time, then you're kidding yourself. They don't, and maybe they shouldn't, because what makes a good talk, a good lecture, is where things are kind of not always going right, and therefore the person giving the presentation has got to be really on their feet and activated with the audience they're talking to, and that's the basis, perhaps, of a good presentation. And of course, at the end of the day, you can stand back and you can close the doors and think, that's a secret garden, that's my space, that's the public space. And the two only meet through imagination. Thank you very much.